I'm Van Beastie. In Pokemon Go, there is an even 1/3 chance to get all 3 Kanto Eeveelutions, Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. So how many Eevee do you have to evolve to get all 3 evolutions? The short answer is, if you want to have a 99% chance of getting one of each Kanto Eeveelution, you should have at least 14 Eevee on hand to evolve. I asked 100 Pokemon Go players after reaching level 41 how many evolutions it took to get all 3 Kanto Eeveelutions for the level 42 quest, and one unlucky player after 14 evolutions did not have all 3 Kanto Eeveelutions. Pretty unlucky. Just kidding, I used MATLAB to simulate this. Easier than asking 100 people. A little backstory. When I hit level 41 in Pokemon Go, I started evolving Eevee to work on the level 42 quest, and it took me 9 evolutions to get all 3 Kanto Eeveelutions. Pretty unlucky. So that got me thinking, how unlucky was I? After writing my MATLAB script, I found out that there was an 88.4% chance of getting all 3 Kanto Eeveelutions after evolving 8 Eevee. So that meant I was a part of the unlucky 11.4% chance that it took more than 8 Eevee evolutions to get all 3 Kanto Eeveelutions. So how does my simulation work? Well, to start, I have a 1, 2, or 3 randomly generated in a loop, with each of the numbers representing one of the 3 Kanto Eeveelutions, 1 for Flareon, 2 for Vaporeon, and 3 for Jolteon. After a 1, 2, or 3 is generated, we flip the associated check flag from 0 to 1 for each of the evolutions as they come along in the loop. When all 3 check flags are 1, we exit the loop and then record the total number of times we loop through the program for the total number of simulated evolutions we did. For example, if a random number generated sequence order is 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, after the first one, we get a Flareon, so set F check from 0 to 1. The second number, we get a Vaporeon, because it's 2. So V check will be set to 1. Now we're just missing the Jolteon. The third number is a 2. So V check is unchanged as we already have Vaporeon. The fourth number generated is a second 1, so another Flareon. And on the fifth randomly generated number, we finally get our 3. We got our Jolteon and have completed the set. So the J check flag finally gets set from 0 to 1, and now that all 3 check flags are 1, we exit the loop and record that took us 5 Eevee evolutions to get all 3 Kanto Eeveelutions. I call this my Eevee algorithm. But this is a result for 1 player. To simulate 100 players, I would loop through the Eevee algorithm 100 times, resetting the check flags to 0 before starting the Eevee algorithm again. But I would tally up how many evolutions it took each time. With our example player, it took us 5 evolutions, and so we tally that up. The next player could take 7 evolutions, okay, so we tally that up. And the next player could take 5 evolutions again. Okay, so now the 5 slot after 3 players have a count of 2. So after simulating 100 players, this is my result. 27 players took 3 evolutions to get all 3 Kanto Eeveelutions. They're pretty lucky. But it's not super uncommon either. 18 players took 4 evolutions. 20 players took 5 evolutions. Now follow the pattern down, and this is the result. Now that we have our final tally, we can easily get our percentages from our tally count. This is the reason why I picked 100 players. Simply divide the number of players all by 100, and you can get your percent chance of getting each result. After dividing the number of players by 100, we get our simulated probability density function, aka simulated PDF. Simulated PDF represents the percent chance of each result. So based on the simulation, there was a 27% chance for players to get all 3 Kanto Eeveelutions after evolving just 3 Eevee. Now, if we graph the simulated PDF, the result looks like this. But with simulating for only 100 players, our simulated results are only ballpark answers. When I ran the simulation again, we can see that one of the significant differences is that the number of players that evolved the 4 evolutions was the plurality of the evolutions for the second simulation at 26%. The resulting graphs of our 2 simulations of the 100 players look similar. 3, 4, 5 are the highest percentages, and then it trails off. but the resulting PDF is not nearly precise enough to extrapolate the actual percent odds of the number of evolutions it took to get at least one of each Kanto Eeveelutions. So let's run the simulation again, but this time do it with 100,000 players. And after simulating for 100,000 players, here's the final tally count for simulating 100,000 players. The results show that 22.13% of players had to evolve only 3 Eevee to get one of each. 22.07% of the players took 4 evolutions, and 17.54% of the players took 5 evolutions. So we can add up the percentages and say that 61.74% of the players took 5 evolutions or less to get one of each Kanto Eeveelution. Now what's interesting is that out of 100,000 players in the simulation, 11 of them took 25 or more evolutions to get all 3 Kanto Eeveelutions, a whopping 0.011% of players. Yes, this is extremely unlikely to happen, but it can happen, and with the large player base of Pokemon Go, it will happen. So the 99% chance of getting at least one of each evolution after 14 evolutions comes from this 100,000 player simulation. So what's the average? To calculate the expected number of evolutions needed using our simulated result from 100,000 players, we can take our simulated PDF and multiply it by the number of evolutions. Now we take each of the results and sum it all up, and we can get our average number. So for example, the 3 will be multiplied by the 0.2213. The 4 will be multiplied by the 0.2207. The 5 will be multiplied by the 0.1754, and so on and so forth. After you sum up all the resulting values, the average number of evolutions in our simulated result of 100,000 players is 5.5601 evolutions. No, you don't evolve half an Eevee, it's just that's the average number. You may think the world is against you in probability, but it's not. This is just a result of pure RNG in a game where you play until you win. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys learned something today. I'm Van Beastie, and I'll see you around.